welcome to this edition of Minstrels on the Block, where we bring you the finest singer-songwriters in the Valley area. This week's guest is Sandy Madaris. So, Sandy, how you doing?
Hi, Brian. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Glad to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So, tell me about yourself. Where were you born?
Well, I was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Cool.
But I didn't stay there. We moved over into a little town called Rock Spring, Georgia.
Cool.
Where my grandfather had a farm where we raised apples and vegetables and things like that. And my dad was a singer. His side of the family were very musical. They were in gospel quartets called the Madaris family, and he sang on the same TV and radio shows as the Oak Ridge Brothers.
Wow.
And the Statler Brothers before they became the Boys in country, and Chuck Wagon Gang and those types of gospel musicians. He hung around with them. I even remember J.D. Sumner coming to the house one time years and years ago. So, and he was a choir director. So at 3 years old, I was up there, the microphone in hand, singing whatever my dad wanted me to sing, "Away in a Manger" or whatever, and fell in love with it then.
That is cool. Did they ever cut records?
Yeah, they did back then. And I think there's some parts of the Madaris family that still remain. I have a cousin, Mel Madaris, who just cut a CD a couple of years ago, I think.
Cool.
It's pretty good.
So you had quite a you were verily steeped in music.
Right.
So from the get-go, you were doing music. Now tell me about your father's side of the family. He was a singer. What did your mother do?
My mother, besides raising us kids, worked in insurance.
Oh, cool.
Like at Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And when we moved here to Columbus, so that my dad could go to college, and he became a mathematician, my mother was working at Blue Cross and Blue Shield here in Columbus, Georgia.
Cool. So now, when did you actively realize that you wanted to continue doing music? That was what you wanted to do?
I was pretty much born thinking that's what that's what I wanted to do for as long as I can remember. And I began professionally at an early age here in Columbus, actually. Robert George and Doug Martin and David Seckinger and the people from the Bluegrass Review at Country's Barbecue.
I remember
would let me come in and sing with them when I was only about 14 years old or whatever. And I would go in on the weekends and sing, and I would waitress there. When I wasn't in high school, I'd get off high school and I would go and I would waitress there, and then on the weekends I would get to sing with those guys sometimes. And they had this lime green hearse that they traveled around to these festivals in, and I was able to go with them to a couple of folk, bluegrass festivals in the day, and that was great. So.
That is really cool. Now, I've heard you sing, over and over again, and always just blown away. Did your style of singing or your level of quality of singing come from vocal training, or just simply from doing it all your life?
Well, a little bit of both, because I had done it all my life, but when I started high school, there was chorus, and so I was always a member of chorus, and went to Jordan because they had a good musical school there, and they had the Red Jacket Chorale, and I always wanted to be in the Red Jacket Chorale. And so but it was for seniors, but by the time I was a sophomore, and with all my learning disabilities, they said, let her sing. But I did get to sing in the Red Jacket Chorale, and I learned a lot through my high school days.
Now, we got this coming up, which is really cool. Tell me about some of your early experiences as far as music, because like leading up to making the CD, who did you play with? Who did you sing with? Some of the people you worked with.
Okay, well, this isn't my first CD. I left. I left Columbus at the age of 17, and I moved to the Mobile, Alabama area, and started a band there called Hickory Wind, and we lasted as a band for about 10 years on the road, and just traveling everywhere through Mississippi, New Orleans, Louisiana,
cool.
all those places. And then I eventually moved out west to join another band, and we started traveling the Arizona area up through Colorado and broke down at the Grand Canyon, which is another story.
Awesome. If you're going to break down, do it in style.
Yes, and right in front of the Lou, so I was really lucky. And so we camped out there and finally made our way home, but after about 6 months of that, I was tired and ready to go back home. And when I did, the guy that was playing in the band that I was in for such a long time, Hickory Wind, he had began to sing praise and worship music at this church downtown Mobile, and it was a benevolent type church where they help the homeless and everything. And I really enjoyed that and started doing music for them in the second service. They would get in to put a little love in your heart before they would, bringing in the sheaves or whatever. so they liked to come and listen to me sing, and then we would feed them. So I enjoyed that, and that turned my musical direction into a different direction. All the contemporary Christian stuff was really, rocking at that time. And so I started writing Christian music and performing that. And eventually I had some things happen and got in touch with some people where I eventually moved to Nashville, Tennessee to pursue a career in music. And I was in Nashville for 10 years. Loved it.
We're going to go and have a listen of one of her songs, and we'll be right back after this.
This song is called Station House Blues. It was written by a friend of mine from Mobile, Alabama, Rick Chansey and I, and this is the way it goes. Hope you enjoy it. Well, I'm going to the station